Now the topic is what are the different regions of respiratory system, what are the different regions of respiratory system, and the distribution of particle, means particle size, particular particle size, where they will settle in the different regions of lung and the respiratory, upper respiratory tract and in the lower respiratory tract. What kind of particle size or what kind of particles will settle at different regions of the respiratory system. First we need to know about the anatomy and physiology of respiratory tract. Upper respiratory tract consists of mouth or nose, that is consists of mucous membrane. Next pharynx, larynx. This part we can call as upper respiratory tract, means present upside. Next one is lower respiratory tract. Lower respiratory tract, nothing but this region: trachea, bronchi, terminal bronchi. See, terminal bronchi, these two here. Next one is from this place to this region, we can call as respiratory bronchioles. This region we can call as respiratory bronchiole. This region we can call as a terminal bronchiole. And respiratory bronchioles again divided into alveolar duct, and finally alveoli, like bulb shaped or grape shaped structure we can call as alveoli. So this is about the upper respiratory tract and the lower respiratory tract. Next one is conduction. Depending upon the function, how can we divide the respiratory system means conductive zone. Conductive zone is nothing but the region which will conduct the gases, means from the mouth to up to the terminal bronchiole. From the mouth up to the terminal bronchiole we can call it as a conductive zone. Means this region just will conduct the air. This will just conduct the air. Then what about the conductive zone means upper respiratory tract to the up to the terminal bronchiole we can call it as a conductive zone. Next one is respiratory zone, where the exchange of gases will be happening. Where the region is respiratory bronchioles. See, this region respiratory bronchioles plus alveoli. This region we can call as respiratory zone. So this is about the anatomy of our respiratory system. Now the topic is what kind of particles where they will settle, means what kind of diameter of the particle where they will settle. So from the top to the bottom, when we go into the lungs, the diameter of this trachea, bronchi, terminal bronchiole, respiratory bronchiole, alveolar ducts are reduced. The diameter of this pipeline will reduce when you will move from the mouth to the alveolar duct. the diameter is reduced. So now the particle size is very important in the design of aerosol. So if we consider the particle size greater than 10 micrometers, they will deposit in the upper respiratory zone. Okay, by what mechanism, by what principle they will deposit in this region means by inertial impaction, nothing but inertial impact is the principle. By this principle the particles more than 10 or more than 10, nothing but see, inertial impaction, nothing but the particles which having diameter more than 5 micrometers, they will settle by the impact, inertial impact. The particles which having more than 5 micrometers, they will settle by inertial impaction. See here, particle size is 10 micrometers, means greater than 10 micrometers. See, from the trachea to this region, the particle greater than 10 micrometers, they will settle. All the particles having greater than 10 micrometers, they will settle in this region. In this region, upper respiratory tract plus trachea. The particles which having greater than 10 micrometers, they will settle in this region by inertial impaction. Inertial impaction means the particles will collide to this region. The particles will collide to the region and they will settle or they will stick. They will collide to this pipeline. And they will stick there itself. Then we can call it inertial impaction. Up to the trachea, the particles which are greater than 10 micrometers, they will settle by inertial impaction. By colliding with this pipeline, they will settle there itself. Next, in the region of branchiae, see, this is region of branchiae. Branchiae region means this side, right side, left side, branchiae. In the branchiae, the diameter of particle should be, what kind of particles will settle in the branchiae means 5 to 10 micrometer particle diameter will settle in the branchiae's region. In the trachea or in the upper respiratory tract, greater than 10 micrometer particles will deposit, but in the branchiae, 5 to 10 micrometer particle size will deposit in the branchiaes. So 5 to 10 means again inertial impaction. By colliding with the membrane and they will stick there itself. Okay, next one is terminal bronchiole and respiratory bronchiole. This both terminal bronchiole and respiratory bronchioles, we can call as a bronchiole. See, bronchiole. What kind of bronchiole? Under the bronchioles, two types are there. Bronchioles nothing but terminal bronchiole plus respiratory bronchiole. So what kind of particle means what size of the particle size, what kind of particle size they will deposit in the terminal bronchiole and respiratory bronchiole means 2 to 5 micrometer particles will deposit in the bronchioles. 2 to 5 micrometer particles will deposit in the bronchioles. Bronchioles nothing but terminal bronchiole plus respiratory bronchiole. So the particles having 2 to 5 micrometer diameter, the particles which having 2 to 5 micrometer diameter, see 1 to 5 micrometer diameter particle, they 1 to 5 micrometer diameter particle, they will settle by gravitational sedimentation, by application of gravitational force. This particle, see, these are the particles present. Due to the gravitational force, they will settle on the terminal bronchiole plus respiratory bronchiole. Due to the gravitational force, they will settle in this region. What kind of particles? 2 to 5 micrometer particles. 2 to 5 micrometer particles will settle in the terminal and respiratory bronchiole region. So next one is next alveolar duct is there. Next in the alveoli, they have asked once in the GK, what kind of particles settle in the alveoli? What kind of particle will deposit in the alveoli means the particle size having 1 to 2 micrometer. The particle having 1 meter, they will deposit in the alveolar region. Next one is up to 1 to 2 micrometer is completed. Then what about less than 1 micrometer particle size? Less than 1 micrometer size particles? Less than 1 micrometer, the particles having 1 micrometer, they will present like, they will exhibit Brownian motion. Means the particle which having less than 1 or 0.5 particle size range, they will show Brownian motion. Nothing but zigzag continuous movement of particles in the random direction. See the zigzag movement of this particle. See the particles, this less than 0.5 micrometer particle will not settle. They are always in the Brownian motion in the alveolar region. By chance, they will settle by Brownian motion or Brownian diffusion. They will diffuse from this region to this another side. This region to this region. We can call it a Brownian diffusion or nothing but Brownian motion. This particle will settle by chance. Then I will tell one thing. point is very important. The particles which having less than 1 micrometer size diameter, the particles they will exhale, means when you will exhale the air, the particles less than 1 micrometer diameter particle, they will come and they will come out, they come out from the respiratory tract. The particles which having less than 1 micrometer diameter, they will show Brownian motion by chance, or in case they will settle. If they want to settle, means they will settle by Brownian diffusion or by Brownian motion. By Brownian diffusion or Brownian motion, they will settle. Okay. Majority of the times, the particles which having less than 1 micrometer diameter, they will exhale or they will come out from the respiratory tract by exhalation. Means by exhalation. When you will say exhalation, the particles what are the present in our alveolar come out along with the exhaled air. Along with expiration, the particles will come like this. So this is completed the particle size range. Bronchi 5 to 10, trachea greater than 10 micrometer. In the upper respiratory tract, greater than 10 micrometer particle. See, these are very important. Gravitation. See, in the bronchioles 2 to 5 micrometer. In the alveoli 1 to 2 micrometer particle diameter, and less than 1 micrometer, they majority of time they will expel from outside. They will expel outside, and by what mechanism they will settle? In the bronchiole and respiratory bronchiole, they will settle by gravitational force. They will settle by gravitational force. The particle size is greater 5 micrometer. They will stick by inertial impaction. By inertial impaction, gravitational sedimentation, and Brownian motion. And some particle they will deposit by electrostatic, by development of charge. If, for example, if this particle having a positive charge, and some proteins are the, if the particle having positive charge, and the region of this respiratory tract having charge, they will deal by electroprecipitation. Just by positive electrostatic attraction, they will stick. This is also another kind of principle. So this is about the various regions of respiratory tract and how they will, what kind of particle they will deposit in our respiratory system, by what mechanism. Okay. So for the respiratory tract, means for aerosol, we are going to design. Majority of the cases use means local action. Aerosols majorly deposit. See, aerosols are majorly designed for local action or systemic action. Whatever the particles they will deposited in the alveoli, they will just cross this membrane, this layer, means they will cross the region and they will enter into the bloodstream. That mechanism we can call as a pulmonary drug delivery system. Pulmonary nothing but drug delivery system in lung, pulmonary. With the help of lung, we can deliver the drug into the circulation. Nasal drug delivery system, we can deliver the drug to the systemic circulation with the help of nose. The help is there. Nose having mucous membrane is there. The particles they will cross from the mucous membrane and they will enter into the systemic circulation. Means drug delivery to the systemic circulation with the help of nose, we can call it a nasal drug delivery system. Drug delivery to the systemic circulation with the help of lung, pulmonary, nothing but lung, we can call it a pulmonary drug delivery system. This is about drug delivery systems. These are the particle size range and their distribution in various regions of respiratory tract. So majorly in the respiratory tract infection, majorly asthma and COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Asthma is major in the region of bronchus. In the region of asthma is majorly happen in the region of bronchioles. Then what will happen? So I need to deliver the drug having particle size range should be 2 to 5 micrometers in order to treat asthma. Means these particles, See, asthma is occurred in the bronchioles, nothing but terminal and respiratory bronchioles get inflamed. So the drug reaches to this region only. If the drug reaches to this region, no useful. If the drug reaches to the bronchial, trachea, not at all useful. The drug should be reaches to the bronchioles, then only asthma, we can treat the asthma. The particle size should be 2 to 5 micrometers diameter for the treatment of asthma, for local action asthma. So this is about the asthma, and that is about the drug delivery system. But finally I will tell one thing. So all this region from here to this region, from up to the respiratory region, this having cilia means cilia are there, like hair-like projections. So, and mucus also, this from this to this region they will having cilia, and another one is mucus. So whatever the particles deposited in these regions, they are trapped by mucous membrane. All those particles are trapped by mucous membrane, and trapped particles, the mucus will send this trapped particle onto the cilia. So mucus is, for example, that will trap the particles and that send that particle to the cilia. Then cilia, what it will do means, cilia means hair-like projection. What they will do means, this particle from this region to the up to the mouth. This cilia, the regions of upper respiratory tract to the respiratory region, respiratory bronchiole, whatever the cilia are present, they will, the mucous layer trap the particle. See, this is the particle. The mucous membrane trap the particles, and they will send this particle to the cilia. Then cilia what will do? The cilia will move these particles like this. These are the cilia. They will move the particles like this. Up to the mouth. Thereby the particles, what are the particles deposited here, they will expel out from the respiratory system due to the presence of cilia and mucus. The normal physiology of cilia and mucus means catching of foreign particle, and they will move this foreign particle from this region to the up to the mouth, thereby exhalation. So this is about the role of cilia and mucous membrane in the upper respiratory tract plus this up to the respiratory bronchiole. This is about the function of cilia and mucous membrane. Next, particle size principle, by what mechanism they will deposit, and what are the various particle size distribution in the different region of respiratory tract. Nasal drug delivery, pulmonary drug delivery, asthma. In case of asthma, that is local action, for treatment of local action bronchioles, the particle should be 2 to 5 micrometer diameter. This is about upper respiratory tract and lower respiratory tract, conductive zone and respiratory zone.